I know you can relate. When I said that generation, our parents' generation, the Bill Mazeroski thing was a big deal.
Oh, my God. Forrest Bill was amazing.
I know.
We used to walk over there, and it was crazy. But let me tell you a quick story about Maz.
Yeah.
He was a member at Lincoln Hills. And we were all at Lincoln Hills when he was inducted, when he was chosen to be in the Hall of Fame. So I called everybody around Lincoln Hills, and we had a golf tournament for him on that Monday. He was inducted on Saturday. He was chosen to be in the Hall of Fame. He wasn't inducted yet. So I called all his friends. I called everybody at Lincoln Hills. We had a golf tournament at Lincoln Hills for him on Monday, a charity, okay?
Yeah.
We had 128 players. I called the Pirates, and they gave me 144 baseballs. And that man sat there at that table and signed every single
You gotta be kidding me.
For everybody.
Wow.
No, I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Hey, Marty.
It was, and you know all the guys from Greenfield.
Oh, yeah. But how many years ago was that?
Oh, Michael, that's got to be...
Probably 30 years ago, more than that.
I was at Lincoln Hills.
Yeah.
I was at Lincoln Hills.
All right, but wait.
36 years ago.
Did you sit and talk to him that day?
I was married.
Did you? Oh God, that's 40. That's maybe way more than that. Did you sit and talk to him that day?
Michael, he sat there the whole. Here's what happened when we had the event. We had it catered by people that own restaurants and stuff. They called for him to go in to eat and everything. He sat at the bar with me and JD and Hobine and Benny Stranchek, and we sat there, and he wouldn't go in. He just sat there and told stories. He drank vodka and tonic, and that's all he did. He played a lot of golf in Lincoln Hills with us. He was a great man.
He was a great man, and it was interesting that and I only met him once, and it was not a long thing, but he was very, very approachable, and he, but you have to understand, after October 13th of 1960, Bill Mazeroski became a household name.
He never really cared about that.
I know. It was not.
I played a lot of golf with him.
Yeah, it was not like some bragging thing. It happened. He was appreciative of it. It changed his life, but I tell you what happened that day transcended sports. It made Pittsburgh so proud. Every single year, they still got together on the anniversary, and did the recreation of it.
Yes. I don't know if his son's still living, but he was there that day. He came up to us, and Elroy Face was there, Steve Glass. We had so many players there that day.
Yeah.
It was 2 days that we got this all together, but it was unbelievable, man. He sat there and signed every single baseball.
How many baseballs?
We had 128 players, and the Pirates gave us 12,144.
Wow, that is incredible. What a great memory. Yeah. My, oh, my. Jeez.
Unbelievable day, man.
I know. Unbelievable. And everybody was like, when I saw that this morning, because I was up really early and I had to head out to Collier to do some work, and I was like, Bill Mazeroski died? Oh, that's such a big deal, what I mean? But what a nice man. Oh, my. Where are you driving to right now?
I got a basketball game out at St. Alphonsus.
Oh, okay. How's the refereeing business going? How's that going? Wait,
we're always wrong, that.
I know, but wait a minute. Can I tell you something? A young guy who I'm sort of mentoring. He's not in Pittsburgh, but he's doing refereeing, and him and his buddy, and they were former missionaries here in Pittsburgh. They're good friends. Their parents are friends of mine. Marty, I thought of you because but it's really good money for them. They're college kids, and they get cash and they go, okay, and they do a couple games, and they said that the kids that are playing are 10 years old. Do you understand? So they're 10 years old,
right.
And he said. And when they first started, I said, how was it? He goes, well, we don't know if we're going to keep doing it. I said, let me take a wild guess. The parents are disgusting people. And and guess what, Marty? He's like, how did you know that? I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, and he's like, every parent, you know, these kids are 10 years old, and every parent thinks their kid's the next Michael Jordan.
Everybody.
I know.
Well, Mike, at least I didn't get punched this year.
Oh, man, you're killing me. Marty, be careful. Have a great night. And I'm so glad you talked about the great man, Bill Mazeroski. Wow, unbelievable. And you know what, hey, Marty, you know what the other thing is? Oh, is it ever? And you better. I got the folks from Irish Night coming up here. Oh, I'll be happy when the clock strikes March. Don't worry about it. But Marty, hey, listen, we have very few statues in Pittsburgh, and Bill Mazeroski had a statue and has a statue, and not even that wasn't that big a deal to him. You know, he was such a humble man. Wow, incredible. All right, Martin, you stay. I'll see you.
Have a good day, buddy.
I'll see you around the High Holy Day. Take care of yourself. No. All right. Thank you, Marty. Oh, I love talking to him about refereeing. Man, do those guys get an earful. Wow. Yeah, folks are talking about Bill Mazeroski dying. Yes, indeed. So listen, let me set the table for you again. I've got some special guests coming up right here. 4 o'clock until about 4:20. Okay, I bet they'll be on right after the news. One of my favorite events of the year, Irish Night. It's wonderful. And, you know, this year they have Cherish the Ladies. Oh, boy, is that going to be good. Cherish the Ladies. I mean, they've performed at the White House, at the Olympics, all that type stuff. This is going to be big. But, you'll have to listen up because I guess tickets are limited now. It's a huge event. It really is, and I love being involved with it. And I was involved with we won an Emmy for that documentary we did on the purpose behind the story behind Irish Night and the sudden death and tragic death of Brendan Foley, and his father Bruce will be joining me here as well. So we're going to talk about Irish Night coming right up, okay? So, and then after that, it'll be a free-for-all. I only have till 5 o'clock. You want to talk? I don't care what you want to talk about. That's fine. 866-391-1020. All right? So we're good to go. Details on Irish Night coming right up after CBS Radio News. Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I'm Allison Keys. Blizzard warnings are up for New Jersey, New York City, and coastal communities from Delaware to New England as a massive winter storm rolls in with possible snow totals up to 20 inches or more. Snow could fall as fast as 2 inches an hour in some areas, and forecasters are warning of likely power outages. Some officials are telling residents to just stay home. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill just gave an update on what to expect in the Garden State.
I have just declared a state of emergency effective at noon tomorrow, Sunday, February 22nd, for all 21 counties in New Jersey.
CBS News meteorologist Craig Allen.
We're likely to see very heavy snow start to break out and very strong winds will develop at the same time. Blizzard warnings are in effect from Boston and suburbs down to New Bedford. It includes Providence, then down along the Connecticut coastline. It continues down through New York City, all Long Island.
A furious President Trump posted on social media attacking the Supreme Court for what he calls a ridiculous un-American ruling, striking down most tariffs he imposed last year. Now he's raising global tariffs up from 10 to 15%. CBS's Christian Benavides with details.
In a 6-3 decision, conservative justices Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and Chief Justice John Roberts joined with the court's 3 liberal justices to rule that the federal emergency trade law that gives presidents power to regulate imports did not authorize President Trump to impose tariffs.
Now to the Middle East, where there's been a ramping up of American forces ahead of President Trump's threat for new airstrikes against Iran. Reporter Dil Galvak is in Jordan.
Iran says it isn't looking to start a war with the United States, but it has been strengthening its nuclear sites and repairing key missile production facilities. It's also carried out war games in the Persian Gulf as it continues an intense crackdown on protesters. President Trump says the U.S. may conduct a limited military strike on Iran to pressure it into a nuclear deal.
There are concerns now over NASA's massive new moon rocket, and it's now delaying a planned launch date until April. That's for the Artemis 2 mission, and astronauts are set to fly around the moon. There was a fueling problem overnight, and there needs to be a solid flow of helium for launch. NASA is looking at the data, and the rocket is likely to be moved back to its hangar for repairs. Artemis 2 would be humanity's first flight to the moon in more than 50 years. Artemis 3, set for 2028, would be a moon landing. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
A huge honor for a movie star that sparked a genre.
The U.S. Postal Service is honoring Chinese-American martial artist and actor Bruce Lee with a new Forever stamp. The stamp artwork features a painting of Lee executing his famous flying kick set against a yellow brushstroke, a reference to Lee's iconic yellow tracksuit in the film Game of Death, which was completed and released years after his 1973 death.
You lose, Carl Miller.
Lee was a celebrated box office star in Hong Kong before his fame in America. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Ever wondered what pizza tasted like in ancient Rome? Now you can find out, but in Budapest. In 2023, archaeologists discovered a Pompeii fresco of a flatbread with toppings. Now Neverland Pizzeria is making a limited edition pie with what was available then, which means no tomatoes, no mozzarella, and what looks like pesto spread. Allison Keys, CBS News.
Make 380 Auction of Murraysville your next stop for name brand furniture. Stop in and compare their quality and pricing. 380 Auction has name brand furniture for less. Before you buy, shop 380 and save on your next furniture purchase. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday noon to 5 p.m., or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132, or log on to shop380.com and save.
Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, starting at just $119 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com and mention KDKA.
She's back. Join Dr. Bridget Shufo at 9 this Sunday morning and see how her wellness and weight loss help you get rid of excess weight and, more importantly, keep it off with a healthy lifestyle. It's Dr. Shufo's Health and Wellness Show this Sunday at 9 a.m.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be cooler despite some sunshine, a high of 46. Snow arrives late tonight, low 32. Accumulates 1 to 3 inches tomorrow into Monday morning. 35 tomorrow, 30 Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Degger, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's Michael Bartley on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Welcome back on this Saturday afternoon. I'm here till 5 o'clock. Michael Bartley on the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA. A week from today, I have goosebumps just talking about it. A week from today is the 30th annual Irish Night in Pittsburgh. Row On for Brendan, my favorite song. Oh, I have some special guests with you right now. And I had the pleasure of telling this story. And it was one of WQED television's favorite stories, and folks loved it. And they've been doing Irish Night every year. A young man, Brendan Foley, I knew his whole family. He was a sophomore at Central Catholic High School. He was killed tragically in an accident on Ardmore Boulevard, near Ardmore Boulevard in Forest Hills. He was a sophomore on the rowing team at Central Catholic. And his life was cut tragically short. But they kept his legacy and memory alive by having Irish Night to raise money for the rowing team, all of that. And it has just become one of the favorite St. Patrick's Day events in Pittsburgh. As you know, Pittsburgh, this region, Western Pennsylvania, has a huge Irish-American community, and I'm proud to be part of it. Brendan's dad, Bruce Foley, joins me right now. Bruce, great to see you. I love seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while. Bruce is with Joni Madden, who's the lead for Cherish the Ladies, one of the greatest Irish groups in the country, and I love them. Joni, I love you. I love you, Bruce. And also Jay Hammond, who is the organizer, the coach of the crew team. But Bruce, I have to start with you. It's hard to believe 3 decades have passed since we started this, and we worked so hand in hand for so many years. Can you believe 30 years have passed? And I take it you're super grateful that Irish Night is still a part of the fabric of Pittsburgh.
Absolutely, Michael, and it's great to see you again. It has been a few years, and always great memories of and all you've done
the
for
Irish. We
time.
just pick up where we left off, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
We do.
No, it's just an amazing legacy. If you think about Brendan loved rowing and he loved the boats, and what better way to remember him and just to celebrate his memory. And these guys, nobody does it better than the Central Catholic team.
Nobody does it better. Joni, Cherish the Ladies. Your group is huge. You've played at the White House. You've played for the Olympics. You have 18 critically acclaimed albums. All of that. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, Irish Night in Pittsburgh at the McGonigal Theater at Central Catholic High School is an intimate. Is a lasting memory of this young man, and you I know you feel it when you're performing there.
I have to tell you, we've played this a number of times, this wonderful event, and it's great to see Jay there as well.
Yes.
Jay's the chief cook and bottle washer. I'll tell you, he rattles the cages. We get everybody to come out. It's been an amazing event, and since the first time we played there, and we are coming with a six-piece ensemble, and if your folks don't know who we are one of the top Celtic music groups in the world. But it's an honor to be there, to remember Brendan, and also to support the rowing team. The end of the show, to me, never fails to put goosebumps on me to see all those boys, those handsome, strong, strapping boys, hanging with the oars,
Yeah,
and to line the stage and to see the pride and to see the way those young men are raised and the pride they have for the school, and all the families come together for an incredible night. I mean, it's really an event. It's not just a concert. It really is a whole social event for the community. And whether there's all kind of raffle prizes, but all the money goes to such a great cause because the rowing team needs it. I don't think they get the support like the football team or the basketball team.
Right.
This is their one big fundraiser of the year where they really need the support of the community to come out. And I mean, you guys have an Olympic champion out of this
Yes,
program.
we do.
Don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Jay,
use the money well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. And the tickets are very reasonable. They're not exorbitant, and there are auction items, all this type of stuff. Jay Hammond, you're a big shot lawyer in Pittsburgh. You don't have to do this, but you have such passion for this crew team and this event. This is a big year. Irish Night's 30th year.
Thank you for having me on the show, Michael. Yes, this is a big year. It's 30 years that Bruce has been doing it. We want to try to give him a break after this. So I want to,
Never. Bruce, you're not off. Don't think you're off the hook. No way.
We'll continue doing the show. But I mean, he's come out every single year.
I know.
And, Bruce, I hope I'm not overstepping here, but the boys are always the same age that Brendan was.
Yeah.
Right.
They're always the same age.
Yeah, that's the first thing that strikes me.
And Bruce, that I'm sure that I don't want to cross any lines here, but I know that crosses your mind every year when you're at this event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you sing "Row On, Row On, Row On." Oh, geez, I'm not going to go there because I won't get through the rest of this show. Jay, and Joni made some wonderful points about this event. What are we going to see this year? And are there any tickets left? People, listen, I got a lot of Irish people, non-Irish people that love Irish music. They know exactly who Bruce is. They know who Cherish the Ladies is. If there are tickets left, you better tell them.
There are some tickets left. We have sold a lot of tickets already, being this for their 30th anniversary. So I would recommend that people go out and buy tickets. It's on irishnight.net. We do have some tickets left, and if you think about the show, I mean, we're gonna have Donnie Irish opening, starting at 4:00. There's a chance to be down in the dining hall, looking around at the auction items, having hitting the bar, and then 5:00 things get started with Cherish the Ladies and Bruce, and there's dancing and music, and we have a 50-50 raffle, and then at the end is what you mentioned, Michael, which I think
I'm not going to give it away.
Okay.
All right, I won't. Yeah. Hey, Joni, this is Pittsburgh. Yes. If we don't have a 50-50, don't even show up in Pittsburgh. right, Bruce?
Listen,
am I right,
50-50.
Bruce? Am I right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's shaved in the 50-50. But listen, that 50-50 goes to a nice, handsome pot every year.
I know. I came close to winning that a couple of times. Hey, Joni, listen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Mike. I do want to add we have the Shevlin School of Irish
yes, we
Dancing.
do. Oh, and I love them. I love them. Joni, but
They're
cherish
sending
the
their
ladies.
team along.
Give us a little tease, little preview of what we're going to hear from you guys.
Well, as much as it's a celebration for Irish Night and the celebration of Rowan for Brendan, it's 30 years, but it's 40. We're celebrating 40 years as Cherish the Ladies.
Oh, wow.
And we started as just a small little concepts, and now we've done over 4,000 concerts all over the world. But, you know, we just absolutely love to go to Pittsburgh because I'm from the Bronx, and I was born in my parents immigrated from Ireland. And the story of Cherish Ladies is all of our families, all of our dads played music and passed the music on down to us. So we're carrying on the legacy of our families and the music. And we have a fantastic singer in Kate Purcell. Of course, we've been working with Bruce for years. We have Mary Coogan on guitar, Morella Murray's on accordion, Nullick Casey on the fiddle, Hannah Collins. And might I add that Morella, Nullick, Hannah, and myself, we're all world champions when it comes to our individual instruments. So you have all of us on there, beautiful singing. And of course, and then we have the Shevlin School of Dance. So there's a bit of music, singing, we have stories, a bit of yarns, a little laughter, and of course, but we're all there for a wonderful, wonderful cause. And that's what, again, at the heart of the whole matter is to raise money for this crew team. And
keep it going.
Keep them going. And listen, as I said, it's just a wonderful event to be a part of. And every year, we're going to be playing some big halls all throughout our March tour, but I know there'll be no show that's going to touch my heart like Rowan for Brendan, the Irish Night. And I hope all your people come out because it really is it's a wonderful event.
It's a party.
It's a party, exactly.
It's a party. It's a celebration. It's honoring Brendan's legacy. And Joni, before I let you go, I just want to make sure you know your place. Listen, I love the New York Irish, but they ain't nothing compared to the Pittsburgh Irish, and don't you ever forget it.
All right, we'll take you down. But listen, we just want to make sure everybody knows it's the McGonigal Theater at Central Catholic High School.
They know where that is. Bruce?
Yeah.
Bruce,
and we'll see,
Jay, you're going to have the last
there.
word, but Bruce, if someone said to you, why should I come to Irish Night, what would your answer be?
For music and the dancing and the celebration of the Irish spirit.
Beautiful. All right, you two, thanks so much. And Joni, I'll be there. Don't you worry. And I'm going to find you.
As long as we're all rooting for New York, for America to take down Canadians tomorrow. We're all on the same team.
We are. Don't worry. But I'll remind you about the Pittsburgh Irish next week. I'll educate you.
Okay.
Hey, listen, you two, thanks so much. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bruce, great. I'll see you next Saturday. We'll see you Saturday. Jay,
thanks, Mike and Jay.
Absolutely. Jay, before you go, folks listening right now who want to come next week, this is very simple. irishnight.net. They can just buy the tickets right there.
Yep.
See?
There's a drop-down menu to purchase tickets, and they can buy them right then and there.
And by the way, what are some of the, before you go, some of the auction items?
I haven't gone through them all, but I know there's a trip to Disney. There's a free kitchen remodel.
Oh, wow.
And you also get Bruce's sister Siobhan's scones.
The homemade scones.
Yes.
They don't know how to make those in New York, Joni. Don't tell me they do. No. Right? Oh, that's big time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonderful event.
All right.
It's a really wonderful event.
It's terrific. Okay, McGonigal Theater next week. The doors open at 4 p.m. The event, everything begins at 5 p.m. in the McGonigal Theater at Central Catholic High School. The last word is irishnight.net. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Joni. Thank you, Bruce. We'll see you next Saturday. All right? All right. And I'll be right back. Open the phone lines. I see we have some of you want to call in on this already. Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio, KDKA.
News, weather, traffic, and business every day. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Time now for a Black History Month Spotlight.
Today we honor George W. Gaines, who in 1919 opened one of the first African-American funeral homes in Allegheny County. His homestead business gave Black families the respect and compassion they were denied at white-owned funeral homes. Gaines later moved to East Liberty, where he continued providing customized services. After his passing in 1953, his wife Julia and later their son George T. Gaines carried on the family legacy. Julia ran the home until 2003 and George T. until 2008, when it merged with House of Law Funeral Home. The historic Auburn Street location burned in 2011, and George T. Gaines passed in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of dignity and care in Pittsburgh's African American community.
How about some fantastic February savings at Coons Market? Isn't that right, Frank Tantisi?
Right, Rob. In our meat department, USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Shoulder Steaks to roast for $6.49 a pound. In the produce department, Sunkist Cara oranges, 8-pound bags, $5.99 each. In our deli, Eckrich Top Round Roast Beef is $7.99 a pound. And additional savings this week, selected varieties of Folgers Coffee, 22.6 to 25.9 ounce cans, $11.49 each.
Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Burgh with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. It's the weekly program that keeps you current with the latest travel trends and vacation values. Listen to AAA's Talking Travel every Saturday morning at 11 on KDKA Radio. Looking for a unique night out in Pittsburgh? Don't miss Pop Couture, Fashion, Fame, and Obsession. It's a high-energy mix of dance, music, and jaw-dropping style, making its Heinz Hall debut Monday, April 20th. Part of Pittsburgh Earth Day's Ecolution Gala. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghearthday.org/ecolution.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
Tune in to KDKA Radio every Thursday at 2:37 p.m. for your weekly Medicare update with Lisa Lauro from Secure Money Health. Lisa will provide you information on everything related to Medicare and how to prepare for it. Brought to you by Secure Money Health.
The KDKA Radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, welcome back. Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA. Just a short show here today. So, 866-391-1020. I'm going to let you decide what you want to talk about. I'm here till 5 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to go Bishop and Denora. Bishop, I had Sister Sue from Denora. She was born and raised from Denora. She was on the other day. I love her.
I missed her.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah, well, we're having a Black History program, 7 o'clock next Friday in the Denora Borough, the Minority Initiative Group.
Where? At the high school?
And No, it's going to be at the Denora Municipal Building. That's where we're having it at.
Okay.
It's beautifully renovated. 7 o'clock, doors open at 6. Just some of the ones that's getting honored is Mayor Gainey, Eric Gainey, Mayor Kayla Portis, and the team of black mayors and mayors in general, that great Bridgeville mayor.
Good for you.
Betty.
Good for you.
And there'll be others, Mr. Larry Price and the former chief of police, the Legends Award, Mr. James Price, and others. Now, let me just say this to you, Brother Bartley. How can a person even respect a health secretary who is letting this health with measles breaking out, and somebody told me polio is starting to break out again, but somebody that started coke off a toilet seat, and you got him as a human health.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. It's.
Now, my other point is, this is where the elections are coming in and could be in play, in my opinion. Some others are looking otherwise, but starting a war with Iran, he may try to declare that the midterm elections, he's trying to find anything to stop the elections. I hope y'all know that. And to declare that the elections should be halted because of a war. We need to stay out of that business over there. I mean, he's burning up resources left and right. I am glad that the Supreme Court did what they did.
Boy, was he a crybaby about it. Wow. He said he said the Supreme Court is a disgrace.
He said that,
two of the people he put on the court, he cries like if he doesn't get what he wants.
Right,
it's terrible. It's terrible. Come on.
Can you imagine what he's going to say on Tuesday night?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like that. Look, let me say this to you. He can say that everything is wonderful, but people know it's not number one, and that they know. Look at his. He's the most unpopular president I think we've ever had. And then was the polling out today on his on how unpopular he is on tariffs? It's incredible. And he's but listen, I don't know. I just think people don't. He can say it, but he's talking only to his yeah, that's because they believe him, but his character I think has become an issue. It could be the greatest thing ever. But it's his character that is and policies, of course, but it's all gotten in the way.
His dementia, like Craig said, it may show even more so Tuesday night, and it's a shame that they wouldn't let Jesse Jackson be left out in the rotunda. That's awful. But I'll talk to you, Brother Bartley.
All right, and good luck. Wait. What your event is Friday at what Black History Month event in Denora is Friday at when? What time?
At 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Doors open at 6 at the Denora building. It's going to be something special.
Okay, great. I love on Saturdays mentioning a bunch of all the events that are happening. I like that. I really, really do. Okay, Bishop, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm getting texts and emails to repeat the Irish Night information. It's irishnight.net. irishnight.net. Because tickets are in demand. And it's at the McGonigal Theater in Oakland at Central Catholic High School. That's the auditorium. And it's a very comfortable auditorium. I've been there a gazillion times. Donnie Irish Cherish the Ladies, Irish Dance by Shovelin Academy. There's auction items, food and beverages, and in memory of Brendan Foley. Okay, and money going to the crew team which he was on. He was killed tragically in Forest Hills. Okay, so I'm going to take my break. 866-391-1020. Listen, open forum. I'm only here till 5 o'clock. You go for it.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. For more than a decade, I've been working with CertaPro Painters doing great work for me, and now is the time. Get a free estimate, get on the schedule at the right price. You never have to wonder what's next with CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
CBS News Brief. A sudden change in the forecast models has the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast preparing for another nor'easter with blizzard conditions and coastal flooding. CBS News meteorologist Nikki Nolan.
As for snowfall accumulations, they have increased with overnight forecast models, which upwards of 10 to 18 inches could be seen anywhere from the Delaware Valley upwards into the New England area.
The Supreme Court decision on tariffs could be costly for the government. CBS's Willie James Inman.
The government raked in more than $130 billion in revenue from tariffs since April of last year, according to data from Customs and Border Protection.
President Trump says he's fighting that decision with new 15% tariffs. Richmond, Virginia Police Chief Rick Edwards says his department is investigating the deaths of 2 people and injuries to 7 last night in the city.
We're going to be looking at various forms of technology that are down here to help us make sense of this chaotic night.
CBS News Brief, I'm Peter King.
Have you or a loved one recently needed nursing home care? This can be very expensive and you could lose your life savings without proper planning. The attorneys at Julian Gray Associates have helped thousands of families navigate these difficult situations. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh. Born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers, buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Don't delay in getting that
plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh body repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Why would you ask a financial advisor permission to spend your own retirement money? There's something wrong with this system. Tune in for a different kind of retirement show with Greg Ayler, now at a new time, Saturdays at 5 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon, a cooler one, a mix of clouds and sun, 46. Snow arrives late tonight, low 32, accumulates 1 to 3 inches tomorrow through Monday morning. 35 tomorrow, 30 Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Degger, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Okie dokie. Today is Saturday. Michael Bartley with you on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA. So I'm here till 5 o'clock. You want to get something in, do it. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Because the Pirate game, I didn't get too bogged down with topics today. So whatever you want to talk about. So let me go to Dick and Dayton. Dick and Dayton. Oh, it's wonderful. I'm glad you called because I have a question for you. You there?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Hey, I'm good. You're always happy. That's why we love when you call us.
Well, a friend of mine stopped by today. He drives Uber, and he surprised me. And we went down to Cincinnati to see one of my favorite persons in Cincinnati. They had a little party going down there. Nothing much going on, but we came back because it was getting, the weather's supposed to change, but it looked pretty nice down there. That was a nice little drive. But
what's your weather right now?
Right now it's a little bit cloudy, but they said that we might get an inch or two of snow tonight.
Yeah, I think you're going to get the same thing we're getting. We're supposed to get now. And then I'm gonna tell folks what New York and Philadelphia, boy, they're gonna get slammed. But anyway, Dick, we're supposed to get maybe 1 to 3 tomorrow. So
1 to 3.
Yeah, but I think you're on the same wavelength path as that. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff's he heard about me. He's an Uber driver, and all we did was talk sports and laugh all the way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were talking, and he was saying, "Well, Dick, I can see." There were so many people there today. I had to go outside, so much smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
All right, now listen, I have a question. You play the banjo, I know, but I have a question for you. Did you ever? What?
Pardon me. Go ahead.
Did you ever play Irish music?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. Oh yeah, we play it every St. Patrick's Day. Either Doug or call me. We played in the banjo or John Weber, and then we try to get. Yeah, we will go somewhere. Like maybe a little sports play. Like Harrigan's or something.
Yeah.
And we'll play inside. Depends on the weather. Yeah, we do a lot of Irish songs. How about that?
Hey, Dick, I tell you, because I don't know if you heard, I had some guests on here at 4 o'clock about Irish Night coming up next Saturday. But I got to tell you something. And it's not. I guess maybe it's because I'm Irish American, but listen, I love Irish music, and around St. Patrick's Day, it's a lot of fun to listen to that.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I do. I really do. Honest to God, I do. I can't help it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad you were on. I'm glad I could check in with you.
Yeah. Wait, what are you having for dinner tonight? Let's hear it.
I don't know. I just, like I say, I'll have to go out probably.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Aren't you going to stay in the dining room at the facility there today?
Yeah, I got to stay in the dining room because I wasn't there today.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And they had some Jimmy Johns, but I think we're having ham and beans tonight.
Oh, all right. Can I tell you what I'm having? You ready? And I'm so
Ready?
excited. And I'm so excited. You ready? I'm going to tell you what I'm having.
Right.
So I was at a breakfast thing this morning. It was a reception for a friend of mine who's running for the state legislature. And anyway, they had bacon and pancakes and scrambled eggs and toast. And they had, potatoes and all that, and I didn't get a chance really to eat, so because I was busy. I was shooting a video for them, and shooting a commercial for them. But I'll tell you what. So, and I looked, and they had those, those containers to take stuff with you, because there was so much left over. So I filled that with potatoes, scrambled eggs. Bacon, toast, and guess what? I'm gonna have breakfast for dinner, and I love that.
That's good.
I love that. I love breakfast for dinner. Isn't that good?
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's good to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you, Dick. I really appreciate it. Take care now.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Take care, Dick.
Yeah.
Always good to talk to you, Dick and Dayton. Isn't he so nice? All right. So I wanted to So I guess, we're getting 1 to 3 here in the Berg, in the region, but it's going to be more to the east. This thing is wild. This is going to be wild. You ready? This is the east. It's a nor'easter, and it's blizzard conditions beginning tomorrow for New York City, Philly, all the way up, okay? And the New Jersey coastline. So blizzard conditions for Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and I guess Baltimore too. So let me tell you what, for us, and I guess the light snow stuff begins here tomorrow. But so for us, according to the most updated maps and schemes, meteorological schemes, in the Berg, it looks like we are about 1 to 3 inches. Okay, but not far to the east. Okay, not that far to the east would be, which would be the mountains. Probably 3 to 5 inches. And in some spots in the mountains would be 5 to 8 inches. All right? Okay. Then keep creeping east. Okay. And in some spots in Pennsylvania, 'cause Pennsylvania is so big, as you know, would be 5 to 8 inches, past Harrisburg, past, Hershey, whatever, over there. But Philadelphia is slated for, could be slated for 12 to 18 inches of snow. Can you believe it? Woo, boy. Same with New York City. And, in some tiny spots, as you move up towards Boston, could be 18 to 24 inches. Hartford, Connecticut, the same. Boy, this is going to be something, isn't it? Ooh, baby. Wow. I mean, that is blizzard conditions. But what's weird is and high winds. So, but it's interesting that when I was looking at our forecast here, if we get the 1 to 3, and then Monday's going to be cold. It will be cold. But then Tuesday, I think, is 40 degrees, so the snow will be gone. It's funny this time of year, if we get, I was talking to somebody this morning at that breakfast that, and March is can be one of our snowiest months. Can be one of our snowiest months of the year. So don't be counting your chickens just yet. That's all I'm telling you. Believe me, it could be. Yeah. So the other thing too is I was very this morning that news about that this guy Zachariah Myers, he's 18 years old, facing 304 charges, ranging from sexual exploitation of and sexual abuse of children to unlawful contact with minors and wiretap law violations. I'm telling you, I've been saying this because, and God love the parents, I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm just saying, I'm not blaming the victims here. I never heard of catfishing, but this is what it's called, and sextortion schemes this guy is accused of. He would target fellow students, allegedly, across multiple social media platforms, coercing the boys to send explicit photos and videos of themselves. According to the criminal complaint, at least 14 teenagers sent explicit photos. They thought they were talking. This 18-year-old allegedly posed as a woman, so they thought they were talking to the. And I'm not blaming the victims here. I'm not. All I'm saying is, parents, beware, beware. There are some the devils out there. Catfishing, which I guess maybe I'm naive. Catfishing is a term used to describe creating a fake or deceptive online persona to target other people. Sextortion is a term that involves coercing intimate images from a victim and then using those images in extortion. So this guy allegedly lured these boys, these high school boys, to send vulnerable photos of themselves, I guess naked pics, and then he extorted them, blackmailed them, or threatened to blackmail, threatened to send them to family. And the reason that this thing is very, very troubling as well is the police said that this Mr. Myers, Zachariah Abraham Myers, he's 18 years old, he's facing 304 charges. The police, and thank heavens they got him. Police said that this Myers coerced one of the teenagers to secretly record video inside the wrestling locker room at least 6 times. We're talking about a high school wrestling locker room thing, victimizing at least 10 other teenage boys who didn't know they were being recorded. Wow. Wow. I'm telling you, the devil incarnate is out there. And I just think this, he'll probably fight the charges. I don't know what he'll do, but I'm glad they got him. 304 charges. Hopefully he goes to prison for the rest of his life. But all I'm saying is, and they used all these Snapchat and TikTok, and this guy used all this stuff to lure these high school boys, and they're underage kids. They're children to me. I'm just appealing to parents. This is a very disturbing story. And I think some of it has gone national. Very disturbing. Be careful. Find out what your kids are doing. Not that this was their fault. They're the victims here. But talk to them about this story. Talk to them. Talk to them. Be open. Be transparent. All right, Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDK. Be right back.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. And brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right. It is chilly now over the weekend. Monday, I'll be back in. A little bit late start. We got warm weather baseball down in Florida. So catch me Monday after Pirate Baseball all the way till 6 o'clock. Colin Dunlap, KDK.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Planning for retirement isn't easy. If you don't know where to start, join Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors every Saturday at 1 for the Net Worth Financial Hour. Beth shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Unapologetic in his talk. It's Michael Bartley on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Okay, welcome back. Final segment, last couple words, but I want to thank Tracy in South Point. Tracy, you wanted to call about this Peters Township story that's heartbreaking, to tell you the truth.
Oh, hi, Mike. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. When I heard this yesterday, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And, not to make light of the situation, but it almost sounds like a movie made for Lifetime. I mean, I couldn't believe all the twists and turns.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, what would be wrong with a parent? And I'm sure they're doing it today after this thing, because this is so widespread. Because, look, I know like my nephews and nieces, they're old enough to have, high school kids now, and I know adolescents and high school kids could be like, oh, you don't know anything, because they're just, I was like that against my father and mother, I'm sure, but we all were, but I don't, after this thing, this guy,
it's scary. It goes to show you about technology.
This creep was allegedly so incredibly cunning to convince them that he was a woman and take your clothes off and send pictures and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
My point today is this. What would be wrong with just sitting at the dining room table tonight and saying, listen, and you will listen, be transparent, even read the story and all that, and just say, you promised me you would never, ever, ever take a picture of your private parts or whatever and send it and text it to somebody from your phone, no matter who it is, no matter what.
And you never know what's going on.
No.
A real quick story. Thank God it wasn't that serious, but this was a while back in the fall. Me and a lady friend of mine, we're in our late 40s. We went out to the Strip, and anyhow, there's people are taking pictures, this and that. You don't think anything of it. Well, another friend of mine was at a Christmas party, and it was a waiter, and they were looking at photos, and he came across. He says, "Oh my God, that's Tracy and her friend.
Oh, wow.
This kid had snapped our photos."
Wow.
Now, again, we were just standing there. And, again, nothing came out of it, but you don't know what's going on, who's taking your picture, what they can do with the technology.
That's it.
I think it's important that the parents sit the kids down and have a good talk with them.
If anything good comes out of this, it is that be transparent with your kids and educate them on what is at stake and the dangers here.
Yeah, I was really shocked.
I was too. I was too.
And what I can understand is what threat did he? What blackmail? I wondered what he said to these kids. To get them so scared. It could be anything.
And then to think that he convinced a kid to take videos of the kids, wrestling kids, high school wrestling team in their locker room. God Almighty, it's crazy.
And you know what else is scary, Michael? Real quick, you've seen it, I'm sure yourself, and everybody else has. You're in a situation. You see people holding their phones. You think they're texting. Who knows if they're texting or shooting a video?
I don't know. That's a good point, Tracy. Listen, I got to run. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Wish we had more time to talk about this. I do, but it's a short show today because the Buccos were on. Stay safe tomorrow. I guess we're getting 1 to 3, but it ain't going to be like New York and Philly. They're getting 18 inches. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, all right. I will see you next week. Michael Bartley, KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Sheldon Williams, your new City of Pittsburgh Public Safety Director.
Just really want your listeners to know that one of the benefits, I would say, and the opportunities that I have to serve in this capacity is bringing a variety of experiences that I have and perspectives to better serve the citizens of Pittsburgh.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Larry Older here. One of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk, having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer, too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So, call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com, all one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
How about some fantastic February savings at Coons Market? Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. In our meat department, individually quick frozen tilapia fillets, $3.49 a pound. In the produce department, extra large golden pineapples are $3.99 each. In our deli, battered walleye fillet strips are $13.99 a pound. An additional savings this week, Selected varieties of Mrs. T pierogies, 12 to 16-ounce packages, 2 for $5.
Fantastic savings. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint, Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Father Tom Burke of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. Join me for Catholic Education Plus as we discuss the theology of the body. Catholic Education Plus airs this Sunday morning at 6:30 and is sponsored by Sam and Judy Spanos in the Diocese of Pittsburgh.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Peter King. From the Mid-Atlantic to New England, here comes the snow again. Alfonso Wilson is preparing in Gardner, Massachusetts.
Just let that go. No more you should be used to it. We're not used to it, okay?
CBS News meteorologist Nikki Nolan has more on the nor'easter that could leave some areas with 1.5 feet of snow.
This will be moving from the Mid-Atlantic region in places like Washington, D.C. and into Philadelphia in the early to afternoon hours of Sunday, and will finally reach the New York City area Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening, and will finally reach Boston overnight Sunday into Monday.
The immediate fallout from the Supreme Court ruling on tariffs has included President Trump instituting new 15% tariffs on all imports. CBS's Willie James Hinman says, don't hold your breath waiting for any savings from tariffs that have been outlawed.
Scott Lincecum of the Libertarian Cato Institute says don't expect lower prices right away. He also adds the ruling has set up a potential legal fight for businesses.
I think the ruling is really more a victory for the rule of law than it is for free trade.
How long do you think it's going to take for them to maybe see refunds or get their money back?
I think at least 6 months, but it could go on for a year or more.
The president has been pressuring Iran's government to dismantle its nuclear program, saying U.S. strikes are possible. CBS News contributor Samantha Vinograd says the current Middle East buildup of firepower is the largest for the U.S. since the 2003 Iraq War.
So we are much closer to war than we were before, and the president is much better prepared to launch not just limited strikes, but a more extensive and prolonged military campaign that could have real repercussions for the American people.
A day after NASA said it was go to launch its Artemis 2 moon mission next month, it's now a no-go due to a problem with the flow of helium gas to the rocket's upper stage. The big rocket will be rolled back to its hangar for repairs April 1st, now the earliest possible launch date. The postponement comes on the heels of a scathing report on the problems that left 2 U.S. astronauts in space for months instead of days. Here's CBS's Mark Strassman.
Liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V.
This damning investigative report blames both NASA and Boeing for jeopardizing the safety of astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams.
The agency failed them, and even though they won't say that, we have to say that.
NASA's internal review identified multiple unacceptable risks to the astronauts' safety. Hardware issues including thruster and jet failures, lack of oversight, and unprofessional conduct, shouting matches instead of leadership.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope.
TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jersey Shore star Snooki Polizzi says she's been diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Get crazy, get wild.
In a TikTok video, the 38-year-old reality TV star says she's grateful her doctors caught her cancer early with a cone biopsy, where a cone-shaped piece of cervical tissue is removed and checked for precancerous cells. She's urging all women to get their pap smears done. The American Cancer Society says about 13,000 cases of cervical cancer are diagnosed in the U.S. each year. The death rate has dropped by more than half in the last 50 years due to better screening. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In Hawaii, an iconic Indian banyan tree has been off limits to visitors ever since August 2023 because of the wildfire that tore through the community. Arborists are now organizing an extensive assessment of the tree's health, the results of which will help determine when Lahaina Banyan Court Park might reopen as well. I'm Peter King, CBS News.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
This afternoon will be cooler despite some sunshine, a high of 46. Snow arrives late tonight, low 32. Accumulates 1 to 3 inches tomorrow into Monday morning. 35 tomorrow, 30 Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm Bill Dager, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program was pre-recorded.
The following is paid for by Golden Reserve. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
The following program is paid for by Golden Reserve. All opinions or statements expressed on this program are solely those of Golden Reserve or its guests and do not reflect the opinions of KDKA or Odyssey.
Coming up this week on Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler at Golden Reserve. Why do people in retirement and people preparing for retirement see things so differently? And somebody said, I did this one thing, and I believe it secured my retirement. We'll tell you what it is and evaluate that. Coming up on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
This is Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler.
The financial industry is VCRs, man. They are an antiquated cabal that are trying to continue to basically exploit retirees.
Does the financial industry system work more for you or for them?
The idea that because you're more successful or you have more zeros in your bank account, you're paying more for your services has never made sense to me.
Shining a light on the good, the bad, and the ugly of Wall Street, and how to come out on top. Now, Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler.
Hello again and welcome to Fire Your Financial Advisor. My name is Randy Cook. I'm here each week with Greg Ayler as we go through some of the questions you might have when it comes to your retirement and who are you choosing to help you plan through that. We'll get into that in just a few minutes here, but this is going to be good because Greg is back fresh from a family week-long trip to Disney. So I can't wait. How was the mouse?
Gosh, Mickey. Take it easy on me, Mickey. Take it easy on me. That guy is a greedy mouse. He must be related to Uncle Sam, I think. You know, he's got it figured out. It is so easy. It's like a digital chip is implanted in every piece of clothing. And when you just walk through walls, blip, 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 cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Not only that, do they figure out don't worry, we can ship it to you.
Oh.
You go into a place, no, where do you live? We'll just ship that to you. So there's no well, hey, we can't carry that, kids. That's going to be too big. We can't carry that. Oh, no problem. We'll ship that, Mr. Ayler. We'll ship those lightsabers and droids and, Jurassic Park, everything. And Mario Kart. They've got it figured out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, it's not the happiest place on earth. If you sit there, if I think I would find a lot of joy if I lived close to Orlando. I would go there at night and just stare at parents. And I did this the first night I got there. I went and grabbed a coffee and sat in the lobby of my hotel. And you would think that they survived storming the beaches of Normandy. Heads were hanging, kids were on shoulders. I mean, people were just spent. It is just no holds bar, fighting in lines, fighting for food. The peak of my frustration. And to me, I love Hollywood studios because I'm a huge Star Wars fan and so are my kids. So that was really cool. We went to like this bar. They put a bunch of money into it. I saw the life-size Millennium Falcon. So all the nerd in me was satisfied. But I'm telling you, Disney World, the Magical Kingdom is a terrible place. It's just a terrible place. There's nothing positive. It's old. And to epitomize, we were in like hour 7. I was almost there, Randy. I'd almost survived the day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever gone through Magical Kingdom, they have some old rides that haven't been updated in 30, 40 years. And It's a Small World, after all, is one of those rides. It's a boat ride.
Yep.
And one of my youngest twins, Louis, liked the rides, Lola didn't. So we had to ride a lot of the slow rides. So we're on the boat. And at the end climax, there's 1,000 little creepy Chucky dolls singing It's a Small World After All.
Yep.
And the boat broke. Oh, no. And for the next 35 minutes, I was on. They didn't stop the music, though.
Of course.
And after 7 hours of just trudging around fighting the public, I'm sitting on loop. It's a Small World After All, to the point where I was ready to swim to shore and leave my kids. I'm like, we're on our own now, kids. It's time you grow up and figure out what it's like to be a woman or a man. I'm taking off. So we're back. We're safe. I think we did it once for my oldest, Lily. We did it now for our twins. We're done. Until I have grandkids now, we're not a Disney family. And I'll leave you with this. When you send this, a lot of parents have gone to Disney, and you get like this, almost the equivalent of someone in your family died text. They're like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you had to go to Disney. Like that's the response. But they're always that one weirdo that's like, yeah, I'm going with just me and my wife. We love it. And I'm like, you masochist, you sick person. I mean, who would willingly go there without children? I think they're weird. I think there's a problem. I think there's some type of gene that just wants that kind of suffering. So I don't get that, but I'm happy we're back. I'm happy we did it. The kids and twinnos were happy. So I did my dad. The dad adventure is over. We've survived. Mom and dad are in one piece. The kids are in one piece, and we are back to work this week, Randy.
You have the stripes. Very good. Yeah, way to go, Dad. You've done it. Yeah, I worked for a radio station that was owned by Roy Disney. So every time they had a new feature down there, we would go down and do the morning show, and we were there at 6 a.m. And so they would open the park at 8 o'clock, and people would start wandering through. And some guy, great big Alabama-looking guy with a wife-beater T-shirt and hair hanging out the back, you know the look. And he grabbed his kid by the shoulder. He says, "If you don't shape up, we're going right back to the hotel." And I looked at my watch. It was 9 a.m.
That happens all day.
All day long.
Angry dad faces, angry mom faces.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, we've all had that experience, and you've got the stripes now. Congratulations. All right, let's get back into it here. This is a show where we talk about you and your feelings about, your worry about when it comes to retirement. And what's interesting is, in this first story that I got for you today, people at Gallup did a poll, and they asked people who are in retirement, and then they asked people who were not in retirement. They're preparing for retirement. And they found that if you ask somebody who's getting ready for retirement, do you have enough money to retire? About 50% of them are going, I don't know. I hope so. You ask people the same question when they're in retirement. 75% of the people say, yeah, we're going to be just fine. So, Greg, what's the difference? What's the difference? It could be 1 year. What's the difference in the two groups?
I'm going to hit this from two different angles. I'm going to hit it from the emotional angle and then the math angle.
Okay.
So the emotional angle, let's go back to Disney, if we must. Louis was terrified to go on the Donkey Kong ride.
Okay.
But then he did it, and it wasn't so bad, and wanted to do it over again.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things that are unknown are scary. So until you get into it, it feels a little bit unknown, and there's fear of running out of money, and what's life going to be like, and all of these question marks, because you haven't checked any boxes. You haven't done any of them.
Mm.
Once you start checking the box, you're like, oh, it's a piece of cake. And I think that alleviates a lot of the fear. So, because I don't think people are really mathematically inclined to quantify their fear not being real. I think it's mostly emotional. But guess what? I've got a pencil. So let's do the math too, Randy. Let's break down the mathematical realities. I found on Empower's website, they actually have a really cool breakdown of average retiree savings. It's something I think people are interested in. People in their 50s have about $1 million. People in their 60s have about 1.1, and people in their 70s have about $1 million. So that's the average. The medians are a little bit lower at 453, 544, and 475. So all of those things lead me to believe, all right, people have $1 million when they retire, give or take, by and large across America. So then you start to say, all right, well, let's connect the dots. How much do they spend? So if you go to the Motley Fool, they said people between 55 and 64 spend roughly $83,000 a year. People 65 to 74 spend roughly $65,000 a year. So I'm guessing that higher spending has to do with paying off mortgages and people quite aren't retired. Once you get into retirement, which is at 65, which I think most people, but let's just say it's 80 because I'd rather be safe here. It's 80 grand. That's the average. So we're going through that, and I was looking at the spending. You know, they had it broken down: $300 a month for entertainment, $100 for household stuff, $700 for food, $650 for healthcare, $1,850 for housing. I thought that was high. I wonder if that's if people are renting. I don't know what that was. They didn't have like a breakdown on how they calculated. But regardless, we know that 80,000 is the big number. So if you turn around and Motley Fool had another breakdown of the average Social Security for a couple in America is around $3,000, $3,200. But let's just make the math easy, $3,000, so $36,000 a year. So if you're cruising about $80,000 of spending with, let's say, $35,000 of income, you know, we start to do the math. Like, all right, that's $45,000 I need, 50 grand. I need 50 grand out of my savings a year. So if you have $1 million and you put your money in all T-bills, treasury bills, 10-year treasury bills, let's just make it simple. That's like about 4%. So you're getting $40,000 a year. So you're only having to use $10,000 of your savings a year. You could live to be like, I'm not going to do the math right now. You could live to be like 280. Hence the reality of retirement versus what the internet tells you, versus what the financial pundits tell you, that you're going to run out of money. Inflation's crazy. You know, inflation actually just came out. You guys saw the numbers, 2.4%. It cooled. Inflation actually cooled down. It didn't do anything what everybody thought it was going to do. What this shows you is when you actually do something and realize that your account values are flat or actually growing, because a lot of people have money in annuities and bonds and the stock market, and it goes up. So in those cases, your accounts go up even more. So I think that's like a huge opportunity to be like, when you're living your life, you're going to stop listening to everyone and just look at your accounts. That's the best way to turn off all the noise, is to actually, you know, people can tell you what it's like to ride a bike. But until you get on there and start pedaling, you're like, oh, I get it now. Retirement's the same way. Until you retire and start retiring, you really don't know what it's like, because everyone tells you all these things are going to happen and all these costs. And then you start doing it, you're like, my accounts are getting bigger. That doesn't seem to track with what I've been told. And I waited and I worked a little too long because I was told I needed all this money because I was going to, you know, need it. And I think that's why you see 75%. I think that's probably light. And to emphasize this point, Randy, at Golden Reserve, we run an income forecast for anyone that gets a roadmap. And this income forecast basically projects what your account balances would be based on your expenses and income from the previous year, with a simple 5% growth rate and then a market growth rate and then 0% growth rate. The idea being, if your money doesn't grow and you put it under a pillow, what will be left in 25 years if you spend exactly like you did last year? And then what happens with 5% returns? What happens with market returns, you know, estimated returns, which are a little, you know, trickier? Well, money usually grows, Randy. The money usually grows. And what that does is it empowers people, one, to get in that 75% bucket of saying, I'm safe. And when you feel that you're safe, you start doing more. You start living more in retirement. You start chasing dreams that you didn't think were possible. That is the whole darn point. You work 20 or 30 years to basically enjoy retirement, not be on a budget. And I see so many retirees come in with a budget mindset. We want to get in the dream mindset. We want to get in that area where people are like, I know it sounds cheesy. I'm not a cheesy person, folks. I'm a pragmatist, but I do love numbers. And what these numbers will show you when you get your roadmap, that you're safe. And after a year or two that we update it every year and you actually see your accounts growing, you'll do more. You'll go on an extra trip. You'll buy an extra toy. You'll spoil your grandkids a little more. You'll live a little bit more. You'll go out to eat more. You'll have all of these new experiences that make life, you know, that's the memory part. That's the part worth living. It's not about dying in the graveyard with the biggest statement. No one wants to be the richest person in the graveyard. I want to be the richest person of memories. I want to have the most memories and the most life lived when that, you know, music stops. And unfortunately for many, they wait too long. So don't wait too long. Come get a roadmap, get an income forecast, start building some confidence. We do it at no charge. Hopefully it gives people the confidence they need to do more in retirement and realize that you belong in that 75% bucket or greater, that knows that they're safe in retirement, that they're not going to run out of money and do more stuff.
That website that Greg is talking about to get in touch with Golden Reserve is getyourroadmap.com. It's pretty simple. Getyourroadmap.com. There you'll see a place where you can put some information in there, and the team will reach out to you and start that conversation. Let's do the math on your retirement today. A lot of these people who are in retirement are finding I'm going to be just fine, but they were really worried before they got there. Let's get you to that place. Getyourroadmap.com, or it's 412-790-0000. That's 412-790-0000. We have 3 offices in the area: Green Tree, Wexford, and Canonsburg.
Would you sign up for an investment that lost thousands of dollars a month? Of course not. Yet many of us go into retirement running that risk. Not a trendy stock, but your health, and the possibility you could need some type of long-term care. The cost of in-home care, assisted living, memory care, and nursing homes have skyrocketed. What was once $10,000 a year is now $10,000 a month. And at these costs, what happens to your spouse? It's one thing to lose your lifestyle, but should you also lose most of your savings and your home? Of course not. At Golden Reserve, we recognize this as one of the biggest risks in retirement. And our roadmap for retirement has strategies that can help. For a free roadmap today, go to getyourroadmap.com.
Welcome back to Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler at Golden Reserve. Online, it's getyourroadmap.com. Okay, we like to go into some of these, Ask the Advisor columns and people who have questions about their retirement. Sometimes they make big mistakes. Sometimes they just have questions. Sometimes they do things that they feel, I think I did something right, so let me tell everybody else. This guy wrote into Yahoo Finance, and he said, I spent $30,000 on my retirement, and it was the best $30,000 I ever spent. I think my retirement's going to go just fine because I spent this $30,000. What'd he do? He bought a hybrid long-term care policy. He was really worried about it. He said, once I checked that box off, I felt like I was going to be okay in retirement. And he also said, because I did that, I think I can be more aggressive with some of my other investments. So kind of a two-part question there, Greg. This person thought that was the key element. Once I get that out of the way, I'm cruising in retirement. First of all, is that something that really is weighing heavily on people's minds? And once you get that checked off, they kind of feel better about things.
30,000? What did he get? 4 whole months of long-term care coverage? This doesn't make a lot of sense. Let me break this down. So our history, if you guys don't know on the show, is we continue to run one of the largest estate planning and elder care law firms in the country. So we are intimately familiar with long-term care and long-term care insurance. So let's just do some education here on how it works and how, a traditional, a hybrid, and another option. Mm-hmm. 30,000 isn't going to buy much. I'm teasing now, but it's not a lot. And I'm surprised that that's what was cited. Maybe it's a 6-pay or something, and that would make more sense. When we look at traditional long-term care insurance, when you hear the word traditional in front of it, think about it like term insurance. If you don't use it, you lose it. Mm-hmm. So you pay premiums into it, and you pick a certain period of time. I want this to pay. Most people think it just pays forever. It doesn't. That's how the old Cadillac policies from Genworth worked back 15 years ago, but that's not how they work now. You say, I wanted this to pay for 1 year, 3 year, 5 years of long-term care coverage. And obviously, the longer the coverage, the more the premium costs. Over time, you pay those premiums. If you go into a facility, of course, then they kick on, or there could be other, triggering moments for it to kick on, so you could have home care. But that's what a traditional long-term care policy is. It operates that you pay premiums and you use it if you need it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Make sense?
Yep.
They're talking about a hybrid policy. Now, this is different. A hybrid policy usually ends up being where you pay a lump sum, usually a big amount of money up front. It can also be over a 5-year period where you pay $100,000 a year for 5 years. That's a common, hey, we'll do a 5-pay or a 3-pay. Those are all very common. And the way a hybrid policy works is that it has a lump sum of money that is yours. If you don't use it, it goes back to your family. So the hybrid policy, in theory, the hybrid long-term care insurance policy says, all right, this money can be used for long-term care issues. Now, what triggers a long-term care policy is 2 of the 6 ADLs not being able to be completed. The ADLs are activities of daily living, which are eating, bathing, dressing, toileting, walking, and continence, which means controlling your body. So if you can't do 2 of the 6, it triggers. Upon triggering, you have an elimination period. The elimination period, the longer it is, the cheaper your policy. So you could have a 60-day or up to a 100-day elimination period, meaning the policy won't turn on until the elimination period's over. So if you go into a nursing home, it doesn't just start paying. People think that. It doesn't. You have to privately pay during the elimination period. People pick bigger elimination periods because it makes the premiums obviously cheaper, but you also have to private pay during that entire period. That's important nuance to realize that if it's 180 days, you're paying for 6 months of bills before you turn on your policy. And if you end up passing away during those 6 months, then the policy's all for naught. So that's an important nuance of a hybrid. And by the way, the elimination period is the same with the traditional too. They have the same concept. Now, people are saying, well, so what am I missing here, Greg? $30,000 isn't going to get you anything. That's like 3 months of long-term care. Most people are putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into these hybrids. So you put $500,000 in, you put $100,000. And the reason's simple. A lot of long-term care facilities are $10,000 a month. Think about that. I'll say it again. A lot of long-term care facilities across the country are $10,000 a month, $100,000, $120,000 a year or more. If you have cognitive, full-time memory care units, all of those things. So we're in a situation of how do I hedge against this? Because there's a really good chance one person out of every couple is going to need help to age in some way, shape, or form. All of us have a loved one that's been in a nursing home, assisted living facility, home care due to Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, all of these things. And the average stays are 2 or 3 years. So at $100,000, that's $300,000. Now, I will say this, and for some people, this is a box. This person wanted to check this box. I don't know what they're checking with $30,000, but it's a box they want to check. They want to say they did something. If you feel like you need to do something with this, I guess. Now, I will tell you, Golden Reserve does not recommend long-term care insurance, does not recommend traditional, and does not recommend hybrid. The reason is simple. When you put your money in that big bucket, the returns stink. The returns absolutely stink. So you're basically just paying yourself back your own money, more or less, minus some fees over that period. So that's why we don't like the hybrid. Now, they may say, listen, but it'll pay forever if you put this much money in it. Well, it's because they've done the math, right? Like it's like anything else. They've done the math to know that they're really not going to come out of pocket. They're investing your money. They're just not giving it to you. And if they have to pay a little bit more of their return on your money back to you because you live longer, then so be it. So you're going to ask, okay, Greg, so what do you do for long-term care? Long-term care is a huge risk. We talk about it all the time. You should not ignore it. There's 2 options that I really like. Now, if anyone owns an annuity, a fixed index annuity, all of those annuities, here's the reality. Almost every fixed index annuity that we're aware of, at least the ones that we sell, allow access for 2 of the 6 ADLs being violated. Or alternatively, a confinement period, meaning that you need to be in a nursing home for 90 days, then you can access your annuity, which it cracks open your big investment vehicle where this money was growing maybe at 10% or 7% or 10%. So it was just your investment vehicle, but now it can also help you with long-term care in a way that makes sense because it's still going to be growing at the better rates that you would have in a traditional hybrid policy, but you only crack it if you need it. So this isn't like a long-term care insurance that you just maybe might need and then you don't get the value out of. I like the idea of that for A, it's better returns. B, you only use it if you need it. And 3, it just is what you're doing anyways. You're not doing anything different. You're already buying these for your safe money in your portfolio in retirement. Why not have the duality of allowing these to be available for your long-term care expenses? The other thing we do, so we use those obviously to access if people need money to pay for their long-term care, but also we use asset protection trust because we own and control, or I own and control a asset protection law firm that does a lot of planning in the estate planning and elder law realms. We can help our clients build asset protection trusts that shield all of those assets that go into them from the nursing home or assisted living facilities and all these other costs. So your home or your farmland or investments, you can put things in there. And after certain periods of time, depending on what state you live, in Ohio, it's 5 years, and in Michigan and Indiana and Pennsylvania, it's 5 years, Kentucky, 5 years. But like it changes from state to state. But if the asset's been in there for that long, the nursing home can't touch it. But you can still access it if you need it, but it can't touch it. So these are other things we do to build on layers of things that aren't as costly, expensive for retirees, but also they age with you. These things live with you. You do them anyways. They avoid probate. They're things you'd want to do anyways for good estate planning purposes, control your distributions, avoid probate, tax benefits, and long-term care benefits. You throw that in, it becomes not the sole reason for doing something like buying a long-term care insurance policy, but one of many reasons for doing something. That's what we like, the duality of a lot of these different tools. And that's how we build our asset protection plans. If you come in and get a roadmap, Randy, we actually have our team of attorneys look at your existing estate planning docs. They see if anything needs to be updated, your healthcare power of attorneys, your power of attorneys, your wills, trust, any of those things. And if you become a client, we actually update them, or we add an asset protection trust. And it's at no additional cost. The cost of your legal planning is already factored into your annual fee at Golden Reserve.
You're listening to Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler at Golden Reserve. And when we talk about that roadmap, and we talk about investments, and we talk about taxes, and we talk about fees, but the healthcare portion of this, the legal protection plan that Greg is talking about here, and he's talking about it from being an estate planning attorney. And there are options out there that you probably don't know about. There's self-pay, there's long-term care insurance, and then what? Greg is just giving you a little bit of the then what. And to have that conversation, to sit down and have that whole look at what retirement might be, let's have that conversation. Go to our website, which is getyourroadmap.com. That's getyourroadmap.com. Or give us a call at one of our 3 offices in the greater Pittsburgh area, Green Tree, Wexford, and Canonsburg. It's 412-790-0000. That's 412-790-0000. We'll be right back with more Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Getting out of the car and want to hear more? Listen to the Fire Your Financial Advisor podcast. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
The following is paid for by Golden Reserve.
This program is paid for by Golden Reserve.
There will come a time when you want to seek out someone to help you plan for retirement. But where do you start? You could start on Google. You'll get 100 names. Then how do you decide? Or maybe you get a recommendation from a friend or family member, and that might work, but you're here learning about how Golden Reserve is different, and you want to know more before you schedule an appointment. Here's an option. Go to our website, getyourroadmap.com. Click on the button that says Workshops. These are free events. You get a nice dinner, and one of our retirement planners will walk you through the biggest risks of retirement. We'll show you what you're up against and how our roadmap for retirement addresses those risks. Taxes, fees, market risk, income, and long-term care. Nothing is sold. This is all about getting you the information you need to plan for retirement. Find us online at getyourroadmap.com and click on Workshop, and you'll be on your way.
Coming up in the second half of Fire Your Financial Advisor, what could be a big disappointment this year for taxes? We'll tell you more. Plus, what's going on? Let's take a look at the market a little bit. We got Bitcoin cut in half. We got Dow 50,000. We've got gold and silver. What is going on? We'll get Greg's ideas on that all coming up in just a few minutes here. All right, so if you're doing your taxes this year, you're in retirement, you're 65, and you're taking Social Security, and you're all excited about the big, beautiful bill, $6,000 deduction for you, $6,000 deduction for the spouse. That seems like that could be a really good thing. But be aware, the more money you make, the more that money disappears. For every single dollar a single filer makes over $75,000 or a couple over $150, some of that deduction disappears, which is not unusual for taxes, but just know that. So, Greg, talk to me about saving money in retirement on taxes. Okay, so we're really talking to people right now who are in retirement. What are the things we talk about preparing for retirement? What about in retirement? What can we do to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's put a bow on this, the $6,000 deduction, because I think a little bit of this is, I don't know, disingenuous, because the people we come across, a lot of people aren't clearing $175,000 in a couple in retirement, right? That's atypical when you have Social Security, even if they have a pension or someone worked as a teacher or a nurse, doctor, all these people, like that's a pretty big number, 175,000. And even at 175,000, you don't lose the whole 6,000. It's a 6% return over, and then it escalates. Now, I think the operative question is, when do you lose the whole thing? You lose the whole thing at single at 175,000 and couple 250,000.
Okay, big numbers.
So if you're clearing over 250,000 a year as a couple, you're going to lose the dual $6,000 deductions, which is important. Now, while it may not be important in terms of normal income, it is important regarding Roth conversions. We talked about this in the last segment. A lot of times people are doing conversions in $100,000 chunks, $150,000 chunks. Well, guess what? If you have a $100,000 dual income and you do a $150,000 chunk, It's $250,000.
There you go.
Now, you rob Peter to pay Paul, right? It's like one of those, the old adage, right? I think sometimes it's okay to lose this deduction. It's losing the battle to win the war.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're doing a Roth conversion that will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes on your IRA, it's okay to lose a $6,000 deduction for a couple years, right? Like I think that is the give and take of reality for folks that have wealth. And a lot of people have $1 million IRA. It's very common that we see in multi-million-dollar IRA. And to get that done in over 5 to 10 years, even at 10 years, you're talking about $200,000 a year for a $2 million IRA, at least. So we have to make some concessions and start thinking through how do we build a tax plan. And I want to focus on this because I think IRA tax planning is super important. And let's just macro out of it for a second. If you have $1 million IRA and you don't have a tax plan, a lot of things change when 2 events happen in your life. One is when your spouse passes, and the second is when you both pass and it goes to your kids. Those are 2 huge tax events, and I'll explain to you why. The first tax event occurs when you pass because you go from the couple to single rate, but your IRA size stays the same, and your RMD percentages stay the same. So you're taking out the same amount of money, but you're being penalized from a tax perspective because your rates are going to be a lot higher, most likely. And that can mean going from a 10% to a 20%. Or 15% to 25%. That's meaningful. On $1 million IRA, that's an extra $100,000 going to Uncle Sam. I'll say it again. An extra $100,000. Randy, when was the last time you spent $100,000 on something?
That would be never. Only on a house. Yeah.
Would you want to voluntarily give Uncle Sam? You think he's doing a good job and you just want to give him more? You think, hey, Uncle Sam, I'm just going to give you extra $100,000.
No.
I don't think most people say yes to that question. And if you don't plan for IRA, taxation, that's exactly what you're doing. You are saying, hey, Uncle Sam, here's another $100,000. Great job. Little butt smack. Keep it going. Keep up the good work. Keep on fighting the fight. No one wants to pay more taxes. No matter what they say on, Insta, Facebook or whatever. All those things are just for show. No one really wants to pay more taxes when it comes down to it. It's just a reality. Unless you're ultra high net worth, and it just doesn't matter. And I think that's the irony of all this is we don't want to pay more taxes because we've already paid taxes. So we don't want to pay more taxes. So the spouse passing is the first one. We call that the widow's penalty. And then the second is when it goes to your kids. And the reason being is the tax burden shifts to your children. And those children no longer have the stretch. That was done away with. So now they have to take the money out over 10 years. And they're taking out at their tax rates, not mom and dad's retiree tax rates. That's the miss. That's the big aha. And I think that's the one that Uncle Sam's banking on. Because they assume that, if mom, they're only taking out 4%, 5% earlier, at 73, you're only taking out little increments and the money's growing faster than that. So your IRA is actually growing. If your RMDs are 4 or 5%, when you start taking money out at 73 and the market's doing what it's been doing, well, shoot, even if you're in safe investments that are getting 6 or 7%, your money's growing. Your IRA is not getting smaller. So this big tax liability then transfers to your children that now have to take it out over 10 years. And they're probably at their highest earning years, Randy. And what that means is double trouble when now they're paying taxes at 25, 30%, 30, 35%. That's not great when a third of your IRA now has to go to Uncle Sam. That $1 million, now $300,000 goes to Uncle Sam. That doesn't feel good. Let us fix that, right? There's an easy fix. Ready? You ready? Everybody ready? Here it is. Pay the tax. That is the secret. Pay the tax on your terms, not Uncle Sam's. I know no one wants to pay the tax, but it's always going to get taxed. It's just a question of when and how much. If we can get you to pay the tax during your couple years of retirement, when your earning is the lowest, we can get that darn thing detaxed or converted to a Roth over 7 to 10 years. And by doing that, we are controlling the tax due by the dollar. We're controlling your Medicare payments. We're controlling all those things. They're on our terms, not Uncle Sam's. We are having the plan. We're not using Uncle Sam's plan because I doubt Uncle Sam's like, hey, how can we figure out how to get less money in taxes? Like that's something Uncle Sam doesn't say, but that's what we do say. So let's get that as part of our roadmap. The introductory first version's built. If you become a client, we update it every year for tax law changes, all the different fun stuff that happens over the course of the next decade if we're trying to detax your IRA. Let us help put that together and give you a vision of what your tax plan could look like with or without a tax plan, Randy, and what those savings are in dollars.
Most of us have 401ks or IRAs. That's where we've saved our money for retirement, and that brings up this issue. Let's do the math on that issue for you. It's going to be different for everybody. Give Greg a call. Give Greg a look on the website. Here it is, getyourroadmap.com. getyourroadmap.com. There's a place for you to put some information in there, and the team will reach out to you, and we'll get the conversation started. No cost or obligation to do that, to build your personalized roadmap for retirement. Or you can find us at one of our offices near you, Green Tree, Wexford, and Canonsburg, 412-790-0000. Again, 412-790-0000. Now, you hear about it all the time if you talk to a financial person. Stocks and bonds, stocks and bonds. Stocks for growth, bonds for protection. Here at 60-40 portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, all the time stocks and bonds. Maybe not so much now, though. People at BlackRock have said these things. Bonds do not offer the portfolio ballast that they once did. Bonds are not the shock absorber that they once were. So bonds, are they falling out of favor now? Greg, what has been the purpose for a bond, and what are they falling short now, and what do you do if you have to replace them?
I find this curious because bonds have had their best 2-year run in the last 20 years, maybe 15 years. I think if you would Google what is the outlook for the bond market, I think you'd consistently see cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's what it would say because I checked. I read the Journal every morning for years now, and bonds are people are pretty bullish. And I think it's because of a couple things that, the 10-year treasury rate right now is 4.07%. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The treasury yields have held pretty constant between 3.75 and 4.25. That's pretty good. People are foreseeing maybe some interest rate cuts. That means short-term bond market holdings are highly favorable. The idea being, if they cut rates, my bonds are worth more, so I can sell them because that's going to be a higher interest rate for a longer period of time with lower interest rates out there. I don't know if they're going to cut rates this year, but if they do, your bonds will be worth more. And if you want to sell them, you can sell them, or you can just hang on to the rates that you enjoyed. When I buy my bonds, personally, I write them out. I don't use them as an investment vehicle as much as just a static amount that I'm comfortable with. If my rates get X percent, I'm comfortable with that. And, for the tenure in which I purchased them. That may not be how everybody views their bond portfolio. I'm kind of defending bonds right now. I normally don't defend bonds, but I'm going to do my best to be impartial. The credit spread right now between the Treasury and corporates are real tight. That's a good sign. That means corporate, the view of corporate bonds are really strong right now too. It's a strong market. You have the competing private credit market too that's kind of trying to take up some of the bond market. Which is offsetting some different options. So people say, well, if not bonds. So my view is, yeah, I think bonds are in a good place. I think they're as good a place as they've been in a while. I think you'd see through the buying of bonds. It's been a popular pivot over the last 18 months. Am I saying you should buy bonds? No, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what your goals are. I think there's probably still easier ways to get safe money in your portfolio that are probably more retirement appropriate. If you're a high net worth person trying to kick off income, municipal bonds, and trying to offset, there's different reasons to buy bonds. I find that they normally don't usually fit perfectly into a retirement portfolio of someone that has between $500,000 and $3 million. But we have a bond portfolio if people want bonds. I mean, we don't, like I said, we don't sell long-term care insurance, but we definitely have a bond portfolio that we use if that's what someone wants. I think there's probably a little bit easier routes to achieve very similar goals. I love fixed insurance products, things like fixed index annuities, where you can have a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more liquidity. I mean, bonds, you have to own them till they're mature.
Mm.
That's just kind of the deal. Where an annuity, you can usually get access 10% a year for a lot of them. Makes a lot of sense for people that want a little bit more liquidity, unlike a CD or money. Some of those things that are locked up for a period. Annuities always give you 10%, not always, but the ones that we sell do 10% a year. You also can get higher yields. A lot of them, if they track the S&P, they have set 10% caps. So if the market does 12%, you get 10%. Market does 7%, you get 7%. So you get to track the S&P 500. So you get some equity exposure. But if the market goes back 20%, you just get 0%. So you get downside protection. They grow tax deferred too. Kind of like a lot of people don't realize tax deferred growth is a great thing. You don't have to pay taxes on your gain in annuities until you take the money out. These are all reasons why I think you should, put them side by side. Look at an annuity. If you're looking for safe money portfolio, put an annuity next to a bond and see which one you like. We do that for our clients. We line them both up. We sell both. So we're kind of agnostic. I think most times we lean towards annuity because we think it's probably the better solution for our type of retirees and the people that call us. But that doesn't mean bonds can't work. And I think, right now bonds are definitely doing okay. They're holding their own. Like I said, cautiously optimistic is the verbiage used when describing the U.S. bond market right now.
You're listening to Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler at Golden Reserve. Online, we invite you to check out the website today, getyourroadmap.com. That's getyourroadmap.com. There's a place for you to put some information in there, and you will be contacted by the team at Golden Reserve. Let's start talking about your retirement. Do some math on your retirement. We do this at no cost or obligation, looking at markets and taxes and fees and long-term care, the health care aspect of things. What's your income going to be? Let's get it all down on paper. Again, getyourroadmap.com. Here's the number, 412-790-0000. Easy to remember. Again, 412-790-0000. We have 3 offices in the area, Green Tree, Wexford, and Canonsburg. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's look at some of these things that have been going on in the market right now. Dow 50,000, they've been working on that for years. I thought confetti would fall from the sky, but it didn't. Why? And then we got Bitcoin cut in half. We got gold and silver all over the place. Let's get Greg's thoughts on that. Coming up next on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
It's happened to all of us. You go to the store, you get ready to check out, and there's 5 registers, but only 1 person working. This is not a good system, and everybody sees it. In retirement planning, you hire a financial advisor who gets paid based on the balance in your account. You spend your money, and your advisor takes a pay cut. So they have a vested interest in convincing you not to spend your money. Again, this is not a good system, but not everybody sees it. That's why Greg Ayler has written the book, Fire Your Financial Advisor. It's a deep dive on how the system was set up and how it works for them, but not for you. Fund your retirement, not someone else's. Go to fireyourfinancialadvisor.com. Put in the keyword radio and get 50% off. That's fireyourfinancialadvisor.com.
So you go to the store to buy a shirt, and you find one you like, but they only have one size, medium. But you're not a medium. What do? Try to squeeze into it? That's not a good look. It's obvious. That store and that shirt are not a good fit. It's the same story when people sit down with a financial advisor to plan for retirement. They'll probably lump you in with everyone else your age with their standard cookie-cutter financial portfolio, and it just doesn't fit. At Golden Reserve, we know that a retirement plan can't be solved with a one-size-fits-all answer. It has to be as unique as you are. We see you as a person, not the number in your 401k. Call for your free roadmap for retirement at getyourroadmap.com.
Welcome back to Fire Your Financial Advisor with Greg Ayler at Golden Reserve. As always, online, it's getyourroadmap.com. And one of the things that you will see there on the website is we have live events that take place all over the place. People wanting to know a little bit more about retirement and what Golden Reserve does, how they go about it. Greg, those events are happening all over the place. And if we're not in an area where you are, maybe we'll be there soon. Talk to me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. We are in your markets doing events and seminars. They're dinner events, man. They're fun. We go out to a nice restaurant. We're a little bit different than your typical, I'd consider, financial advisor workshop. A couple different ways. One, when you show up, hopefully it's a different kind of experience. We have some gifts when you arrive. We want to get you excited. We want to make it very appreciative. You know, we feel very blessed to be where we're at, and we feel very honored that you'd come and spend an evening with us. I know we are giving you a free meal, and that's why most people show up. We get it, but we still don't take it for granted. We think it's really cool that you guys want to spend a night with us. We know how special those nights are out. So we try to make it as, nice as possible, put, great menu items. We do alcohol. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but, we don't want people having to come out of their pocket. If they're coming to spend the night, we want to take care of everything for them. In terms of our speaking engagements, our people do advanced training with, Tony Robbins level speakers to help us hopefully be great storytellers. And all of our seminar is based on client stories, which also is really fun versus your typical lame someone reading a PowerPoint for an hour. Also, our seminars are 30 to 45 minutes. So we try to keep it brief
and exciting. So when people come in, it's all client. A lot of times we'll have an attorney there or a CPA there that also works with us, so you can get all of your different retirement questions answered. We want to make it fun. And for everybody that signs up for Roadmap at the end, we also have a gift basket that we give away too. So for all those reasons, we're biased. We think our seminars and workshops are the best in the country, and we're going to keep doing them. We do as many as anyone else in the country. I don't know if anyone that does more than us. If there is, let us know. Send us a message. We will correct that and say we're one of the best. But I believe we are one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the country that do these workshops. So we've got it figured out and continue to try to help retirees in any way we can.
If you want to find out more, go to the website. It is getyourroadmap.com. All right, Greg, a lot of stuff since the last time you and I have spoken. Dow 50,000. I mean, people wrote books about it. They wear hats with it. And then we hit it, and it was like, poof, nothing. Does Dow 50,000 mean anything? It seems like we've been trying to get there for years. Now we're here. Now what?
Why and how?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, companies are getting bigger. Market cap's getting bigger. By nature, these numbers are about to grow. Now, for people that don't realize, the Dow, if you're not in the financial world, it's kind of called the sleepy Dow. It's usually a little bit slower. It's got manufacturing, it's got industrial, it's got financial services. Those are the primary holdings of the Dow. So it's a little slower. Now, it makes sense. This is the fastest 10,000 point run in its history. And I think there's a correlation to this. One, tariffs didn't hit it as hard as they thought. So people were hedging that they thought that the tariffs were going to be a big, oh no, this is going to crush the Dow. It didn't. And the second is that people were looking for alternatives to the software companies. The software companies and a lot of the AI tech are kind of getting beat up a little bit. So people are quietly, in my opinion, moving to some more traditional type investment companies, more stable. It may not be as sexy as NVIDIA, Facebook, Meta, all the other big, the big seven. But I do think people are a little skittish about what AI is doing and the overinvestment in a lot of people's minds. So this gives someone another haven to hedge against. And I think that's driving